February 24, 1991, as the sun rose over the Saudi desert, nearly 700,000 coalition troops prepared for the largest ground assault since World War II. Military experts predicted weeks of brutal fighting. Iraq possessed one of the largest armies on Earth, with over 1 million soldiers defending Kuwait. But only 100 hours later, the war would already be over. How did one of the world's largest armies collapse so quickly?
To understand the answer, we must go back to the summer of 1990.
On August 2nd, Saddam Hussein ordered Iraqi forces to invade neighboring Kuwait. Within hours, Iraqi tanks entered Kuwait City, while terrified civilians watched the invasion unfold. The small nation stood almost no chance against Iraq's overwhelming military power. Officially, Saddam claimed Kuwait belonged to Iraq, but oil was the real prize. Controlling Kuwait meant controlling one of the world's richest oil reserves. The invasion shocked the world. Within days, the United Nations demanded Iraq withdraw immediately. Saddam Hussein ignored every warning. Instead, Iraqi forces strengthened their grip on Kuwait. The United States realized diplomacy had failed. Military action was becoming inevitable. But America would not fight alone. More than 30 nations joined the coalition. Operation Desert Shield had begun. Its mission was simple: protect Saudi Arabia and prepare for war. Day after day, cargo aircraft delivered tanks, helicopters, fuel, and ammunition into Saudi Arabia. Within months, nearly 700,000 coalition troops stood ready for battle. Meanwhile, Iraq turns Kuwait into a fortress. Hundreds of miles of trenches, bunkers, and minefields waited for the coming invasion. Military experts predicted a bloody ground war. But coalition commanders had a completely different plan.
On January 17, 1991, the silence ended. Operation Desert Storm had officially begun.
America's invisible weapon entered the sky, the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter. Designed to evade enemy radar, the aircraft flew deep into Iraqi airspace almost undetected. Its first targets were Iraq's command centers, radar systems, and air defense headquarters. Moments later, cruise missiles struck strategic targets across Baghdad. The Iraqi capital lit up as explosions echoed across the city. Television viewers around the world witnessed a new kind of warfare, live. But bombs were only part of the plan. America also launched an electronic war.
Iraqi radar systems were jammed, and military communications began to collapse.
Within hours, Iraq's command network was falling apart, leaving entire units isolated. For the next 38 days, coalition aircraft dominated the skies without pause. Bridges, supply depots, ammunition bunkers, and airfields were systematically destroyed. Unable to fight in the air, many Iraqi pilots fled to neighboring Iran to save their aircraft. By late February, Iraq's military had been weakened long before the ground war even began. Then came the move that completely surprised Saddam Hussein. Instead of attacking head-on, coalition forces secretly moved deep into the western desert. This strategy became known as the famous left hook. On February 24th, the coalition finally launched its ground assault. Apache helicopters struck Iraqi defenses moments before coalition tanks reached them.
When Iraqi commanders realized what had happened, coalition forces were already behind their lines.
Across the battlefield, thousands of exhausted Iraqi soldiers chose to surrender instead of continuing the fight. Only the Republican Guard continued to resist. But even Iraq's elite forces could not stop the coalition advance. As Iraqi forces withdrew from Kuwait, long military convoys moved north-north toward Iraq. Coalition aircraft attacked many retreating military vehicles along Highway 80, creating one of the war's most debated moments. After just 100 hours of ground combat, coalition commanders declared a ceasefire. The fighting had finally come to an end. Kuwait had been liberated, and one of the fastest major ground campaigns in modern history had come to an end.
Operation Desert Storm transformed modern warfare by proving the power of precision, technology, and joint military operations.
War was marked the beginning of a new era, where information, technology, and strategy could decide a war long before the first battle was fought.